Some common problems that we see in paragraphs are as follows. Sometimes the first sentence is not a topic sentence. Sometimes you'll see that the first sentence, instead of being a topic sentence, it's referring back to the previous paragraph. Now, this is a problem because it doesn't set up the paragraph to be one contained unit. That paragraph is relying on the reader to either remember the previous paragraph in a very specific way that's hard to do, or it's requiring the reader to go back and reread part of that previous paragraph. And that's not a good thing to ask your reader to do. Another problem when the first sentence is not a topic sentence is maybe it's referring to another published idea. So it's citing a reference in that very first sentence and referring to that. Well, that's a problem because you have to know what's in that reference, or you have to go and read that reference on your own. So that's a lot of work for the reader. Or this paragraph might start with other information, that there is a topic sentence, but it's not the first sentence. It's interrupted with this other information, such as a definition, a caveat, or a concern. Another common problem in paragraphs is that a paragraph contains more than one topic. In other words, it's going to lack unity. And we'll see some examples of that. Another common problem is that the paragraph is not coherent. So there's a lack of logical flow moving from idea to idea, or the paragraph just ends. It doesn't have a conclusion that wraps the paragraph together and advances the argument. It just ends abruptly. Let's look at another paragraph, and we'll analyze this paragraph and think about whether it can be improved by addressing some of these characteristics of good paragraph, of unity, cohesion, and development. Because plastids are required for photosynthesis, the production of major phytohormones, and other metabolic processes, they are in a key position to sense alterations in the environment and communicate accordingly to the nucleus. So that first sentence should be a topic sentence. I don't know what this paragraph is going to be about. This sentence covers a lot of ground by itself. It opens up with this phrase, because plastids are XYZ, they are in a key position to sense alterations in the environment and communicate accordingly to the nucleus. It makes me think that it's going to be talking about plastids sensing alterations in the environment. But at the same time, it also makes me think that it's going to be about plastid function, because it says plastids are required for photosynthesis, the production of major phytohormones, and other metabolic processes. So it's a bit confusing what this sentence is about and what the paragraph is going to be about. I don't feel like that's a very clear topic sentence. Now, if we move on into the paragraph, it says, for example, light quality affects the plastid transcriptome, while light quantity affects plastid signaling, and both influence photomorphogenesis. So light quality is something at a given time, and light quantity is going to be a quantity at a given time. So these are not alterations in the environment. They're the state of the environment. So this is, to me, not unified with the topic sentence if the topic sentence is about sensing alterations in the environment. So they are describing plastids sensing the environment, but not sensing alterations in the environment. Now, the third sentence says, plastids also play a role in tolerance and signaling against drought, freezing, heat, and oxidative stress. So that could be reflecting back to the topic of sensing alterations in the environment. But let's keep going. Furthermore, disruption of regulators of plastid function, such as pentracopeptide repeat proteins, can lead to defects in growth, embryo development, photosynthesis, and leaf pigmentation, among others. So that is not reflecting back to anything in that first sentence. It's a completely different topic coming in, pretty much out of nowhere. And then the final sentence says, as such, the status of plastids has a profound level of control over the entire plant, including its responses to environmental and cellular stress. So that might be a decent concluding sentence, maybe the problem with this paragraph is that it's missing the topic sentence. So I think that first sentence has too much going on. It should be broken up, and there needs to be a topic sentence for this paragraph. I feel like it's not very unified, and also because some of these sentences that follow each other are making big turns in direction of logic. Some of these sentences that follow each other are not developing an idea. They're just listing different ideas that are not even connected to each other. So coherence is not really there either. So I would say that this paragraph has a lot of great ideas in it, but I think it needs to be reworked to make it into a great paragraph. Okay, let's look at another example paragraph. This one starts out with the sentence, biopharmaceutical manufacturing represents nearly 2% of the U.S. GDP, which makes it an important driver of the U.S. economy. Naturally, I'm going to assume that that's the topic sentence. So I expect that this paragraph is going to be about the economical impacts of biopharmaceutical manufacturing and how it contributes to the U.S. gross domestic product, GDP. The second sentence says, biopharmaceuticals include monoclonal antibodies, recombinant proteins, and assemblies of proteins produced by biological means. Commercial products are used as blood factors, thrombolytic agents, therapeutics, growth factors, interferons, and vaccines. So already those second and third sentences have nothing to do with the economic aspects of biopharmaceutical manufacturing. So the first sentence is not a topic sentence. We can see that. Clearly the paragraph is still about biopharmaceuticals, but it's not really about the economy. Now let's continue. The most common mammalian cell line used is the Chinese hamster ovary, CHO line, due to its ability to produce biopharmaceutical molecules with post-translational modifications required in humans. So that sentence did not follow logically from the preceding sentences. So the way it started off, the most common mammalian cell line used is the CHO line. How does that connect to biopharmaceutical manufacturing? So they needed to work those terms into that first part of the sentence. Paragraph continues, however, it is well understood that recombinant CHO cell lines are susceptible to genome instability that is often observed after approximately 70 generations. So now we've got a new topic altogether coming into this paragraph. It's talking about genome instability. That has nothing to do with biopharmaceutical manufacturing in the economy. So we've completely changed topics in the middle of this paragraph. And then it goes on, I'm not going to read all the rest of it, but it develops that idea about genome instability. What we have here is really three different ideas that are crammed into one paragraph. So the biopharmaceutical manufacturing, I think what they were trying to accomplish with this talking about the economy is the significance of biopharmaceutical manufacturing. So a different topic sentence would have made the first part of this paragraph more unified. Now, once they started talking about Chinese hamster ovary cells, that really should have been a separate paragraph. So this paragraph is not doing that great in terms of topic and coherence. It's doing okay in terms of development, but the ideas are not flowing logically.